Man. Post up these links real quick, just so people can jump in. Huh?
Water out here? Yes, I did.
You leave your water out here?
I did.
We're live.
Oh, yeah.
Alright. So I'm sharing it now. Ugh.
You hear the rain?
Yeah, it started raining a little harder now. Of course. I don't know if anybody's even going to be up on a Friday at 12:30 watching YouTube, but we got to find out. View your stream. Oh snap, there is. What's up, Turbo Tempest?
Oh, it's over there.
Oh, yeah, it's there.
Hey.
We're on the wide angle, so.
Hey. Oh, let me not kick it in.
Lights on, nobody home. Boop, boop. Oh no, you know what? I think you guys got the notification like when I first set it up, and we just hadn't gone live yet. Like I was waiting to click the go live button. Like I was making sure everything was set up and ready, and we had chairs and shit.
Oh, look at that.
Yeah.
Neat.
Big Wills, V-Dubs, what's up, Alabama Rebel? Well, I'm kind of disappointed. I wanted to go test the car, and we decided not to go to PRI, and partially due to what would be, I guess, upcoming plans.
Yeah.
There's stuff I want to do in the future, so I really wanted to try to start getting the car lined out on the street and see if we can go a little faster. So, you know, yesterday went and got fuel, went and got, you know, the nitrous refilled, did all that kind of stuff and got ready. And then today I was like, all right, you know, apparently it was supposed to be, I don't know, it's been saying it's on and off that it's going to rain tomorrow. But, so I was like, well, tonight should be dry. So, how long before twin turbo? Michael Clark, it would probably be a pretty long time for a couple reasons. Like, number one, we still don't even have all the power back in the motor yet. Like, the guy I got the motor from, I talked to him and he said run it at 42 degrees. We only have 38 degrees in it right now. And that's part of when we had the 456 and trying to calm it down and all that kind of stuff. So we still haven't like reached the limits of the motor combination on motor and nitrous, everything else. Not only that, like twin turbo is a lot of stuff. You know, I'd have to buy everything because even though I have some stuff for when I was going to do LS twin turbo, like it's a completely different animal now. I would have to get bigger turbos, bigger wastegates, more blow off valves. Like it'd be a lot of stuff. Plus, I'm not ready for the downtime yet. Like we're still ready to go racing and plan on it. So I don't want to have it down.
The next 3 weeks or so? Or so? 3, 4 weekends?
Australia in the house.
Yeah.
I'm going full screen and I can't see comments. Well, the comments are going to help lead this conversation. So hopefully you guys have some of them. Well, we're doing the program. Thank you, Rodney. We're trying. The big block all the way. It's that time of year. It's not that time of year yet. That's the thing. There's still more racing to be done. Like, if we wanted to, there's still more racing, and we're planning on doing more. Yeah. But it would be like, there's not so many events necessarily left, but if we go like down south, we can still go race on the street. And that's really what I would like to see, is how competitive we can get this thing to be on the street. So part of that was what I was going to test tonight, and we were trying to make videos, or trying to make a video about it, you know, just so I would have some fresh content, but that didn't work out. So the rain has, it was like, now you guys might be able to hear it. I don't know, it's still very light, but earlier it rained just enough to make the roads wet, like barely drizzling, but there must have been like a rain thing come through and all that. Parkersburg, West Virginia, Hawaii. Where are you guys at? Home. This is my house. This is my garage at my house. So I am home. How the plugs look after nitrous hit, Zach, I don't know. And honestly, I'd have to get fresh plugs because the ones that are in there have had multiple nitrous hits. Plus, like, I drive it back to the pit, you know, all that kind of stuff. So I need to get a bunch of sets of plugs and go ahead and make hits, you know what I mean? Like, put a plug in, make a hit, shut it down, pull the plug out, then put, you know, swap a different one in, fire it back up, blah, blah, blah. Always a Platte of Florida. I'm in Florida still racing. Yeah, I actually got invited to Florida this weekend. Mobile, Alabama. Thought you were going to PRI. I thought I was going to PRI too. But after getting home, there's some problems with the RV. And, you know, there's a crap ton of shitbox orders to get through, which we can't even all do because all the merch is in Ohio. But, you know, there were still line and fitting orders and stuff here that we had to get through. So I wanted to get that done. And then, like I said, there's talks of traveling really far down south to do some really serious street racing. And I thought about it and I said, you know what? You know, we've got an opportunity. The weather's not too bad. We can go to PRI and go hang out, or we can keep working and keep trying to make progress on this car because I believe it's capable of a lot more than what it's doing right now. What's the fastest full goal has been? I'm not going to say that. That'll be a secret. Any plans for chassis to help you leave harder, more reliably? The chassis is fine. I mean, we did the 850 cage, we did subframe connectors, it's got an air roll bar. You know, I probably could use a better set of rear shocks, but Viking is still 6 to 8 weeks out or something. So it doesn't, you know, there's nothing we can do immediately to make big changes. I do got to put some shock extensions on the front so we can get more travel out of it. The chassis is fine. What our concern has been the drive shaft and the 10 bolt. Come to think of it, the more I think about it, you know, 8.5 rear end gear is not that far off an 8.8 in a Mustang, and those things can hold crazy power. Now, I don't know what axles are in this thing, but honestly, I should probably stop being, that's the point we were getting at. I had changed the tune-up in the car to try to leave a lot harder and get after it in the 60 foot a lot faster, because the car has been a 144 60 foot on the street, and we have not touched that with the big block in it. So I think you really need to drop some of the rear end or have it squat more. No, it's actually a common misconception. I hear that a lot. Oh, it doesn't squat, it doesn't squat. We don't want it to squat. We want it to plant the rear end and actually, you know, kind of like a radio car, separate to keep that rear end planted and keep all that weight on the rear tires. Coffee in the house. Where you guys going to next? You're right, that Camaro till the turbo kicked in. Thank you. Yeah, where we're going to next, I'm not sure. I think there's talk of an airport race next weekend, like 3-4 hours from home. That doesn't seem like too bad of a deal. But once again, like, we're going to go do street stuff, and I want to go get on some good streets and really figure this car out. Like, you know, believe me, I'm not saying that we've got everything figured out, but like, I can make it go down a shitty airport. I figured that out at Dig or Die. You know what I mean? Pretzel time.
Pretzel time's called one of the Mr. Pierre.
Oh. As I say, I was preheating that oven for pretzels. But, you know what I mean? I know what to do to make it go down a shitty surface. Now I want to see what has to be done and how far we can push it.
I'll take it.
On a good surface, a good street.
It's not food.
I really like you. You're a good dude. Enjoy the channel. Hope to meet you someday. Well, thank you, Ron. I try to be a good dude. I no, I like legitimately try. I try to be a good dude. I try to always be positive about everything. You know, I try not to get sucked into negativity and that kind of shit. So glad to see Fool's Gold running straight and fast. Yeah, that rag joint was hard. How I managed to do anything. What year is the Nova? The Nova's a 74. It's a 74 hatchback.
I beat you to it.
Did you have to add weight to the front end? No, actually we had to add weight to the rear end. The car now with me in it weighs like 3740. It's very heavy, but that's what we had to do to try to get it as close to 50-50 as possible. If we take weight out of the rear, right now we've got probably 225 pounds in the rear. If we take that out, we're going to be very nose heavy, and that's not going to do us any good. So I've got like future plans. We're going to lighten the front end up, you know, lightweight brakes. I'm sure there's probably some stuff we could maybe do with the core support, but I don't want to get too crazy, like stuff that has to be really torn apart really far. But lightweight brakes, possibly a lighter front wheel and tire. It got to the point where I was looking, we want to put a taller tire on the front, and I'd like to see, like I was looking at the weight of the tires themselves, was basing what I wanted to buy off of the weight. I finally got off my dead ass and subbed. Damn, thank you. About damn time. Enjoy the videos. Keep the content coming. Come to Texas soon. I would love to go to Texas. It was almost 80 degrees in Oklahoma. You need to come down here and hit the streets. Another place I would love to visit. Are you going to crank Fool's Gold towards the end of the video? I can. Duct tape needed on the RV. No, the duct tape failed as it turns out. What's up, Matt and family? It's Bobby Robinson. What's up, Bobby Robinson? Melbourne, Australia. You need more nitrous or a second kit? I don't know if that's the case yet, because you got to realize, even when I hit that first kit with 300, that is on a ramp, so it spreads out over 2.5 seconds, and when I hit it right off the line, it still has 8 degrees of launch retard over 2.5 seconds. So we're still pulling a lot of timing out of it. We're still ramping it. You know, we need to get to the point where I can hit it a little bit harder straight from home. I want to hook the wide open throttle switch up and see what's going on. What's up from Ohio? I think Fool's Gold can very easily see low sixes. Absolutely. Should not be a problem. Jack from Australia. How much air are you running in your back tires? So that's something we're playing with right now. I have run, like when I was on the street in North Carolina, I ran up to 14.5, and we're still playing with it because I still look back at the videos and I still see maybe a little too much wrinkle in the tire and hitting it too hard. And what we're trying to do is offset the weight, all the weight we have in the ass end and how heavy the car is with air pressure. True tornado outbreak. Yeah, something's going on with the weather. Are you going to turbo the Nova later on? I don't know that I'm going to do that. I really enjoy the Nitrous big block. I think it's a cool combination. Will I ever have turbos in the future? Maybe. Maybe just not in a Nova. Just all I'm going to say about that. I think your axle ratio is better for top end, 373, more for quarter mile, not eighth mile. I think 411-ish would be better. That's something that I have seen a lot in the comments on the videos, and a question that I wanted to answer. We went from a 456 gear to a 373, and the purpose behind that was we wanted to slow the wheel speed down dramatically to race on surfaces like Darlington, you know, Rockingham. To an extent, Rockingham is getting better, but like those back half of the track no preps, in my opinion, it's a lot about wheel speed off the line and controlling it. So we went all the way down to a 373, which drastically changed the wheel speed. If you guys look at the video from Dig or Die, I went a 170 60 foot there and you know, on a very, very lazy tune-up. But that's the thing, is the wheel left, it turned nice and slow, it rolled, the front end came up nice and slow, and all of those things are a factor in work, you know, making the car work. So now the problem is, do I think I went too far? I do believe possibly I went too far. I'm not 100% sure yet, because we still don't have all the timing back in the motor. We still haven't headed that hard from home yet. You know, been worried about, oh, we talked about the rear, but the rear really isn't as much a concern as the drive shaft. The drive shaft is like a regular 2.5 or 3 inch drive shaft with like 1310 U-joints in it, like small U-joints. We need to go up to 1350s and all that kind of stuff. So that's been part of what we are worried about, turning it up. Got Alex Taylor's dad to make fiberglass crime bumpers on it. 75 pounds of 2 bumpers. Kim, so I was looking at, there is a company that makes a 74. I'm not sure if it was VFN or what, but there are companies that do make the 74 fiberglass front bumper, and I have this chrome paint that I've been wanting to try that apparently works really well. I would do the front, not the rear, because the rear, everybody's like, oh, suck it in and blah, blah, blah. The rear is staying exactly how it is, because we want to keep all that weight back there that we can. So if I can find that front bumper, that may be something I purchase. I'm gonna have to look and see if see if Jegs has it in stock. I don't know. That's a hard one. Turbo John destroyed an 88 ring and pin recently. Yeah, I mean, you can still do it. I just feel like your nitrous isn't hitting hard enough off the line. I'm with you. Part of that is because it is on a button, so I have to let go of the trans brake and then hit the button. And regardless of how quick you think you are, there's still reaction time in that, and there's still time in that would get solved by the throttle switch. So we're gonna put the throttle switch. The throttle switch is already on. I just gotta wire it up. I did that in advance. And then also you gotta realize this is where it gets weird, because people misunderstand this all the time. The ramp starts at 30 to 100. It goes from 30 to 100 over 2.5 seconds. It's not like 30% of 300. It can't change that, but what it does is it pulses the solenoids open and closed from being open 30% of the time to 100% of the time. So we can turn that. That's another thing we're going to do. Actually, I left it at 30 just because I'm trying not to hit the tire too hard, but I shortened that ramp from 2.5 to 1.5 and took launch retard out of it. That was going to be our next step, because we can build, like, if it hooks and it goes, I can build off that and keep giving it power, giving it power, giving it power. Okay, now we went too far. But if it's spinning, then okay, now how far do we have to turn it down? And then we're going the reverse direction, everything else. Contact Strange or Quick Change and talk to them about a sponsorship and get a 12 bolt that'll bolt right in. It does not work like that. I wish that it did, but yeah. You ever think about coming to Texas? I would love to come to Texas. I think the airport is close to that street. No, absolutely not. Berkeley Springs? No, like I'm talking good streets. Like, oof. How's your front suspension set up? What are you running for camber? I can't answer the camber question. That would be a Lucor question. They would know the answer to that, because they set all that up. But it is they're Speedway or something, tubular upper and lower control arms, so they're not that, you know, a great fancy brand or anything. Trick springs that I've probably cut too much off of for the height. I probably need to get new trick springs. And then Viking double adjustable coilovers in the front. Those have been working very well. The Crusaders. And then Lucor, like, recently did, you know, the bump steer kit, all the steering components up front. We put a new steering box in it, new rag joint. So it's all factory stuff. Oh, Brendan, I'm going to answer this question because I see it all the time. Start buckling your helmet. My helmet is buckled. Number one, if you guys ever notice, like, sometimes the video doesn't play all the way through, like it cuts in different sections. So number one, you guys don't see everything, but number two, the helmet never comes unbuckled. I leave it buckled, so because that buckle, that actual snap, is a pain in the ass to do. But if it's snapped, you can pull it down and tighten it. What kind of dog is that? That's a pit bull. Good morning from Bahrain. Damn, Bahrain in the house. Do you ship shipbox supply merch to Australia?
Not currently.
Not currently.
Yeah, I think it's still closed. I think a lot of stuff.
Oh, Canada works now.
Canada does.
Yeah, I just saw Canada order the other day, so I think Canada works. But then also, Billy has been having a problem getting merch to Australia. It keeps getting sent back. Like, they won't allow it in the country. So, dog's name is Pierre. What's your wife gonna name her? El Camino.
I have a couple ideas.
What are your ideas?
No, I don't want to put it out there. Cause then no. I'm gonna wait to be able to drive it, and then I'll go.
And then you gotta experience it.
Yeah.
How big of a shot of nitrous? Currently, we're spraying a 300, and I'm not gonna lie. Sunday I sprayed a 300 on the street, and it did not feel like what I expected a 300 to feel like. But we also had quite a bit of ramp in it. I was noticing from the helmet cam, I think there was a little bit too much pressure drop for my liking, so that's why we emptied the bottles today. Like, we completely emptied them, and my buddy filled them up, and they don't use a pump, they use the hot-cold method. We're just trying to eliminate variables, so to be 100% sure there's no air in the bottle. We did that today, or yesterday, and I'm going to shorten that ramp up, see what that's like, and we're going to see and make sure we don't have any nitrous problems. I just went through earlier tonight and checked all the fittings, and everything is tight and whatever, so I live 10 minutes from Maple Grove. I look forward to meeting you. Thank you. Tahoe may be ready to show this weekend for you. Thank you. If it is, please let me know. Let me know when you're ready for me to come see that thing. Let me know. I'm ready.
It's a pretty sweet ankle you got there.
Huh?
Pretty sweet ankle.
My ankle, very nice. Would love to see your other half drag race. Chris, we're at the point now where I'll put her in the Nova on motor. Now that it doesn't drive all over the place and shit. Like, I'll put you in and slow it down. And are you planning to have the more front ends separate even more than it is? Yes. So we did the taller ball joints up front. Lucor did that, and he found out and figured out that the shock was going to limit our travel, so we actually put bump stocks on it, so we don't, or bump stops, so we don't super extend that front end and end up breaking a shock. Big Rob was talking about building something or changing the setup up so that way we can get more travel out of it. Mopar is faster. Someday will you learn? Ryan, you line up next to me in a Mopar and find out. I've ran 8.5 for 3 years, several 130/60s and countless 140s. Get a girdle cover and studs for carrier bearings. 1350 yoke and U-joint. Yeah, we're gonna have to do 1350 stuff, but we might do that. And if we do that, we're gonna pull the rear apart. Well, we can do the 1350 without having to reset the rear. But if we do have to reset the rear at that time, maybe we'll evaluate maybe going to a 390 or a 410. Are you going to back half it? No. I have no plans of back halving the car, other than doing some stuff, in the front, maybe eventually down the road, like a tubular bolt-in K-member. But we'll do everything we can to save weight without making it like a full-blown pro mod. Like, we're not going to do fiberglass doors. We're not going to do all that shit. We're not going to back half it. I'm going to leave it leaf spring. There's plenty that can be done on that. if I do something with a back half or something, it'll probably be a different car. I just, not that it's by any means like a super rare car or anything like that, but like I just don't want to cut it up. Like it's still got a back seat in it, you know. We can move the nitrous bottles, and we actually might move the nitrous bottles and put a passenger seat in it because I would love to do some ride reactions. Like I think that'd be a good time.
Do you remember that one time you took me for a ride in the sketchy Mustang?
Yeah.
You remember that? I remember that.
Yeah.
That was good times.
But yeah, and then like I like to take you for a ride. I like to take Mom for a ride. I'd like to take the girls for a ride. They can't sit in the back seat because the cage, but
right.
If we have a racing seat with a 5-point harness, I'll put them in the front seat. So yeah, like I have no plans of cutting the car up that far. Number one, it's too much downtime. If it was something that I could do myself, maybe, but I don't think we're ready to tackle that big of projects yet. So I don't know. Big Rob might be. He's fucking good, but honestly, I don't want to cut the car up that much. Pierre is one handsome guy. Put a single on the Dodger for shits and giggles. Apparently the Dodger doesn't even run anymore.
They got part of it over there.
Yeah, there's parts of it. Apparently it doesn't even start anymore. Nitrous big block on 8th mile is tough to beat on a real street surface. Yeah. Are you running a Glide, 350 or 400? I have a Glide. So I've got a Glide in it. Have you inspected the bottom end yet from first getting that motor? Nope. I haven't had to. The motor has been great. Like I said, I talked to the guy that gave me the motor, and he told me I was babying it. That was another thing that I made a change in the computer. We turned the rev limiter up, and I changed the shift light from coming on at like 68 to like 72, because he said the shift light would come on at 7,000, and you know, by the time he shifted, it was like 72. And from watching the video on the street the other day and the other videos, I'd seem to be a little ahead of the shift usually. I seem to be a little ultra prepared for it, so we're gonna run it out to 72, try shifting there, and then we'll look at how much the RPM drops, and we'll talk about converter and all that kind of stuff. Did the trap speed go up? Yeah. Yeah, I mean, Sunday on the street, even though I got fucking turbo fucked and railroaded by the turbo car, that was the fastest Fool's Gold's ever gone. But it went that really easily, and I was like, yeah, okay, we need to turn this bitch up. Like, no sleep for Luke Quarter. No, I think he's out of PRI. You put a shorter tire and it changed the gearing. Well, we can't put a shorter tire on it. I mean, it's got to be a 28-10-5. I'm looking for a 68 Nova to buy in Australia. And this is the same thing. So underneath, the 68 to 72 is the same as the 74. There are some minor differences, but all of the parts are interchangeable. But as like the differences you notice are on the body. Like this back window is a different shape, you know, the front end, the grill is different, but you can switch to the 68 to 72 grill. I will not do that. I will keep it a 74 as long as it's alive, because I like the fact that it is not the popular Nova. Hi from Arkansas.
I'm also batting questions in here too. So it seems like you're a little bit farther up in the chat there.
I probably am.
Yeah.
I've been really curious what size carb you have on the 496. It's a Dominator 1050. If you do come to Oklahoma, give me a holler. Check out 660 videos, track. Yeah, so if we went to Oklahoma, we'd get up with 660, and you know, you got to hit it with a 150 off the hit and then ramp it another 200. We might get there eventually. The Nitrous Express setup that I have right now is a single entry billet crossbar, which is good for 1 to 500. I think maybe even more, but I don't know that we'll stack plates. There is enough room under the hood to stack plates, but then things get kind of messy. I don't know. You need 6 kits. Yeah, like Kai Kelly. Yeah, Kai Kelly also has 300, 400 cubic. I don't know. Them UC motors are like 958s or something. They literally have double the cubic inch. I need a lot of cubic inch. How does your wife feel about you racing? Let's hear a couple words on the matter. That's you.
Oh, hey, I was waiting for him to get to this comment. I was like, I'm gonna have to double dutch in somehow.
No, go ahead. I'll fill up mine. Or here, I'll go make.
Oh, he's gonna leave me completely. Oh no.
No, I can put the pretzels in the oven, right?
Yeah. Can I have a pretzel too?
Yeah.
Thank you. I don't mind. I don't mind him street racing. As far as I know, we've been together, I say, like forever. But before we even started dating, he was in the racing scene just locally with people, and it kind of progressed over there. But I don't have any problem with it. It makes him happy, so it trickles down. So when he's happy and he's chasing what makes him happy, and he's motivated and he's feeling fulfilled in what he wants to do, it trickles down. So then he brings all that happiness and positivity back home. So like if he's doing what he loves and is passionate about, things go a lot smoother as well. So if he's happy, I'm happy. He travels a lot, and that part's really hard, but like we stay connected, of course, now with YouTube and all that. I get to watch him live with you guys. I'm usually in the comments too. But yeah, I don't mind. I don't mind him racing. Safety is a big thing. I know you guys get on him in the comments about safety. I get on him just as much. So when I see stuff, I'm texting him. I'm all over him about it because, you know, he has me and the kids here and, of course, the dogs. And we care about him. We care about his safety. So we're all over him, too. Yeah. I don't know. So, yeah, that's it. As far as other questions that I've seen in here, I might race eventually, but the El Camino is not really going to be for that right away. And he's back.
I'm back, but that timer, it only takes 5 minutes to make the pretzels, so.
5 minutes, still pretzels.
Yeah.
You guys ever had those oven-baked pretzels? They're amazing.
They're like one of my favorite snacks.
They're like the big bags.
Fresh hot pretzels is great. Dyno, your current setup. Come to the 405, let's build a real nitrous cam for the Nova. Rusty Miller, sure. I have not dynoed it. I have no idea. We have estimates, and based on what it's gone and how much it weighs and all that, we could kind of figure it out. Why not hook your nitrous tree trans brake button with a relay to activate it when you leave? I don't have to. So we can put it on the wide open throttle switch, and it's already wired into the Nitrous Express. I have a Maximizer 5 in the car, and we don't need the relay. At least, knock on wood, if I set it up correctly and it means what I think it means, we're not going to need the relay. It will not come on even when I'm full throttle. If I'm on the trans brake, it won't come on until I release. So I know what you're talking about, but that's taken care of by the Maximizer 5. 150 off the hit and ramping another 50. I think we could hit it with like 200 off the hit. Have you figured out our pistons? Nope. What's the weight on the Nova with me in it right now? 3740. I'm trying to get through a bunch of these questions. Why nitrous with Bill's knowledge and Billy's success in a blow-through carb? Why not turbo? Because nitrous is ready right now. I have been without this car for so long and not racing for so long. You know, I raced the Dodger, and that's just kind of like a screw-off toy. You know what I mean? This thing is faster on motor by a long shot than the Dodger was spray on spray. So nitrous will get it done right now. And you can make plenty of power nitrous. It was a nitrous car before. It's never been a turbo car, so why change it up? What was your time at the Rock? I'll say that because I said it in the video. 670. I went 670 third pair. Well, actually, it was fourth pair because there was a grudge race first, but fourth pair down on the day, 670. What age did you realize you were meant to be a street racer? I don't know that I'm meant to be a street racer, but I really enjoy it. It's a lot of fun. There is nothing like that feeling. You know, don't get me wrong. I enjoy racing overall. Like, you know, I not so much prepped racing just because I've never had a bunch of money. Like, you know, I could never afford to go what these guys are going and that kind of stuff. But on the street, it was, you know, the equalizer, and the no preps are the same way. I enjoy that. But like, honestly, like if you guys saw the video from the last couple videos, you know, racing at night on that skinny ass road, everybody's like, oh my God, it's so crazy. And I'm like, I love that road. It's like my favorite road. Because it is like, you have to have your shit right. If your shit's not right, you're off the road. So that's a challenge, and I really enjoy that. Any plans for swapping of the windows for Lexan to save weight? I did think about that. I was thinking earlier today, I wonder how much an optic armor windshield would save, because pound, which is not going to be the case, but you know what I mean? Find out which is the most advantageous, like which you get the most weight for the money, and pick that one first, and then work down the list that way. Don't cut it up. Yeah, exactly. You can mini tub it. It fits a 28-10-5. So other than we've got to stretch the wheel wells out a little bit more on the outside, just because we put so much weight in the rear, it you know what I mean? There's not really a need for a mini tub. Okay, Mark. Not Spotify. Just thinking Shopify. Yeah. I ordered from other folks and had no problems. I don't know. I've been at the house and like seen the packages get returned. Like there's a pile of packages that were supposed to go to Australia that, for one reason or another, haven't gone through. What your age is? She's probably not going to tell you. But I'm 31. I'm about to be 32 in January. Do you wear a Hans device? No, not yet. Something I would like to get in the future, but I do have a neck brace. I do want to get a better helmet. That's all stuff I definitely want to do. I think back half would take you out. No, most small tire no prep stuff will allow back half. I don't know if Mallory saw that. Has Shiver Street raced? Turbo big block. Take your Nova to 710. 710 would be cool. How well do you think Billy's S10 and your Nova would do against Tunicorn? Good question. I have no idea, but I'd love to find out. You know, that thing's fast. I saw he raced Alex Laughlin the other day. They've been racing all sorts of people. I don't know. I would love to know. I would love to see, actually physically with my own eyes, see what that surface looks like, and see, you know, I'm sure we can get down it, but how fast can we get down it? How fast can they? Oh, she did answer that. Big Rob in the house. Okay, what's up? Any plans to race down south this winter? Yes, that is why I skipped PRI, because I wanted to stay home and make changes to the car and try to get faster on the street. And we were supposed to do that. Like, we literally had the car on the trailer. We drove around. I don't know how much is going to make it into a video, because we filmed all kinds of stuff but never ended up being able to make a pass. So it would probably be the most boring video ever. But we were there. It's got 73 bumpers on it. 74 didn't have rubber. It had chrome bolts. Ooh. I didn't know that, Kim. I did not know that. What's up from Hawaii? Do you ever plan on putting methanol on it? There's not a need to. In my opinion, with keeping it a big block nitrous setup, you know, just the way it is, just maybe adding some nitrous, whatever, there's not really a need for methanol. if we did turbo, then methanol is something I would consider.
Like
C20 VP. No, we actually we run 110 in it, and more recently, so we run 110 in it because there's a gas station right down the street from Bill's house. That's down the street from a track, and they literally have 110 in a pump, and it is like the most reasonably priced 110 you will ever get. So we've been running that, and then I came home and we don't have that. So I know Billy is, you know, sponsored by Stinger, and they're actually in Delaware. So I called them up and I was like, hey, I want to come up and buy some fuel, and went up there and bought some fuel the other day.
Is that good pretzel?
Mm-hmm.
Good.
What's the best RPM you left at to make the best 60-foot time? Oh, that's another thing we were turning up too, was launch RPM. I want to say it was 3,400, 36. And that was Sunday. I know it was no more than 3,600. What does it run straight motor? Still don't know. Was it originally a nitrous motor? I don't know, but the gentleman I got the motor from told me that he had it in a Mustang. He told me what it ran in the Mustang, and he did spray it. Not very hard at all, but he did spray it. What's the weight bias with that heavy ass iron block? We had to add weight to the rear. We're just about 50-50.
You should do it. You should get the pretzels.
You should get pretzels. What does 670 in the eighth translate to in the quarter? I always run a quarter. 1050, 1060, something like that. Okay. How many hatchback Novas did you see? Not a lot. Actually, I don't think I've ever seen another one. I have been seeing more of 73 and 74s, but still have not seen another hatchback one yet. Do you use stripper glitter like Billy does? Yes, obviously. They're like, I'm around all the, you know, they always have a bunch floating around. So, but I've used that. I've used Blue Collar Brew. I've used Skinnies. The guys from Bumper Thumper just gave me a bottle to try. I was actually going to try that tonight if we made a hit tonight. So I've used a bunch of them. Swear some of these questions crack me up. Hello from New Hampshire. How long have you known Billy? Like 3 years. What's the smallest no prep car you've seen? Building a Fiero LS swap. I don't know. Smallest one was actually a street car, and it's probably the Kansas City. Those what the fuck are those things? Fuck. Not a Vega. Maybe it is a Vega. But the black ones, you know, you guys know what I'm talking about. Those are the smallest I've ever seen. But you got to be careful with that, because there is, you know, there is advantage and disadvantage to wheelbase. How much horsepower do you think you need to be competitive to run events of the events you guys run? All right. So I think that you can, well, I went rounds in Crossville in the second chance race on motor. So let's just say that this motor, by a rough estimate, makes 700 at the motor. You know what I mean? That's not counting drivetrain loss and everything to the tire. You know, I think you gotta be playing with at least 1,000. You gotta be able to produce 1,000 to start being competitive. And I don't mean winning. Winning is even more, but competitive. I think if you're 900, 1,000, you can be competitive. Do you watch Midwest Streetcars YouTube? Fun fact, I don't really watch anything. Oftentimes, especially now that Tommy's been editing my videos, the first time I even see my videos is when it premieres. So I don't really watch any videos. I need to. It's just I don't have the time. Musi Motors 959. Is the 496 a stock block deal? Yeah, I believe it's just like a GM 454 bored and stroked. Yeah, them pretzels are good. I'm Tim. Kim's wife. Comments coming below us. Gotcha. All right, got your tail. It's more important to make the car go fast than to go out to PRI and hang out. As much as I would love to, as much as a great time it would be, and everything else. Just my priority is a little different right now, and I literally just drove home from Ohio, so driving back out another 9, 10, 12. How long does it take to get to Indy? I think it's like 3 hours from Billy's, so that's 10 hours at least.
Something like that, because it's about 2 hours from where I grew up. So
how cold is it over there? Actually, here in Delaware.
Don't let the hat fool you. I'm
it's
just being
not,
a
yeah,
sissy.
It's not that cold. Like
no,
it's like maybe 40s right now.
Well, it was almost 50 on our way back. Tomorrow's gonna be high 60s. So I'm just a sissy. I don't like any type of cold.
This is Big Rob, live in Ohio. Yep.
Yeah.
Will you be helping Billy build his turbo big black car? Yes. So what I would like to do, my game plan, is if I can plan this far enough out in the future, flights from Philly to Ohio are really cheap if you plan them out far enough in advance. So I would like to fly out, and I think the game plan is I'm gonna like fly out for a week, come home for a week, fly out for a week, come home for a week, like just do back and forth weeks.
When it gets like this, I'm like, yeah, just let me know, because I can't keep up with the plans anymore and like the calendar. Just let me know, like day of, day before. That works.
Monza. It's funny you should mention Monza.
Oh, that car we were talking about, was it a Gremlin?
No, more than a Gremlin. No, the black one's in Kansas City. And the one's like a fucking rotary, and it's a fucking Lenko, and it's nasty. How sticky is stripper glitter compared to pimp juice? If you know, I do not know, because I have not ever gotten the opportunity to use pimp juice. Yes, they did. They made a tent that fit the hatchback Nova. Yep, you'd fucking open it up. Yes, I saw that. That I've never seen in person, but somebody showed me like old school 74 Nova ads, and they advertised the tent for the hatch. AMC boys run a Gremlin. Oh. Are you gonna go through the motor this winter or just run it till it blows up? I think we're gonna keep an eye on it. I don't know that we're gonna tear it like all the way down to bearings and try to refresh. There's not really a reason to. It doesn't show any signs of anything, and it's working very well. So one of those things that if it ain't broke, don't fix it. I remember when 600 horsepower is a shit, now it wouldn't be competitive. Yeah. I'm gonna try to move this a little bit forward, because people are complaining about the audio, which I thought I was talking loud enough, but maybe not. Does it bother you that crowds gather at the starting line? No. So
it doesn't bother me that crowds gather at the starting line. What bothers me is when people come to a street race to get belligerently drunk. That bothers me. Because I think, that's part of it. And, that's part of street racing, driving through a crowd of people and all that kind of stuff. It kind of adds to the fun of it all and everything else. But what I enjoy is when the people who are on the line and all that are respectful, courteous of what's going on, and have some sense about them and wits about them, not trying to stand in places they shouldn't be standing where they can get hit and that kind of stuff. But it does drive me up a wall when people go to street races to get drunk, and I don't know, like, I'm not saying there's anything wrong with drinking or getting drunk or whatever. Like, everybody likes to have fun, but that is an incredibly dangerous thing to be fucking stumbling around at. There's some 24s on Fool's Gold and go donk racing. I want to build one. I do want a donk car. I was telling
that'd be so cool.
What, a donk car?
Yeah.
Not the Nova, but yeah.
No, not the Nova. No.
I was talking to Billy the other night. That's something I brought up, and it was like cool because I saw it in him too, and I was like, oh fuck yes, maybe we'll get to do it. Like, part of what I want to do with YouTube and all of this stuff, like, I want to build every car I've ever wanted. Like, I want a bagged truck.
Oh boy.
Yeah. See. Like.
Can we just stick with one?
I've loved cars all my life, so like I want to have some different ones. And Billy's like, yeah, I've always wanted a Supra, and I was like, fuck yes, all fucking white Supra, whale tail, you know what I mean? No body kit, nothing. Just those cars are so clean. So it would be cool if, because of YouTube, like, I could own all the cars I ever wanted.
No.
Or build them.
No.
I kind of feel
like, I see you jumping in when there's cars for sale and stuff. Like, because I'm on some of the same pages. So I see you comment and they're like, bro, you need to stop. You got a problem. Big time.
What made you pick small tire class instead of something like True Street? Great question. Couple reasons. Number one, Delaware is one of the hardest states in the country to get a vehicle tagged in. So, if you guys don't know this, in the state of Delaware, there are 3 state-run facilities. Not like some states, you can just go to a mechanic shop. Some states you don't have to go at all. In Delaware, it's actually run by the state and state employees. You have to drive through this lane. They have to do, obviously all safety. Has to have full exhaust. Has to pass an emissions test. Like, they stick a sniffer in and everything. Like, it is one of the hardest states to get a tag for a vehicle. Now, everybody's like, oh, well, you can get an antique tag or this, that, and the other. Yes, you can. But you still have to pass the regular inspection one time before they will give you that tag. And since I never left the original motor and trans in and tried to do that, I kind of screwed myself. But that's what?
There's an antique right there.
Oh, yeah, antique. Yeah.
Where's that from?
The LTD. The LTD got one. Yep, blue 4-wheel.
I forgot about that car. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. But it is one of the hardest states to get a vehicle tagged in. So that's why I don't do like a True Street class. That's one of the reasons. Other reason, like, I want to be with the baddest of the bad. Like, the fastest of the fast. That's where I want to live. And if it means I'm going to have to take a lot of losses and everything else, it is what it is. You were a firefighter in the Air Force. Yes, I was in the Army first and then the Air Force. And in the Air Force, I was a firefighter. Datsun. Yes, I thought it was a Datsun, but I wasn't sure. Oatbill? No, I think it was a Datsun. What's wrong with the RV? The same thing that's wrong with every RV, 20-year-old RV in the country. The walls are kind of shitty. The floor is kind of soft. We gotta fix some of that stuff.
The inside looks really nice though. I put a lot of work.
She put a lot of work in. We have been having an absolute fucking blast. Like, you have no idea, like, how happy and proud I am that I bought an RV. Like, there's no payments. I own that motherfucker outright. And I've been able to, what? And I've been able to take my family on multiple trips. I've been able to contribute to the team by having a place for everyone to stay. Fucking at the races, Big Rob, Brendan, Allison, Tommy all stay in the RV with me. Billy. Billy, when we went to, I was busting his balls because when we went to Rockingham, he stayed with Chris Lane. Well, Chris Lane drives an Audi, so like Billy pulls up, gets dropped off in an Audi after staying in the hotel, and I'm like, "Look at you, Mr. Superstar!" But yeah, so and it made me insanely proud that like I can contribute. You know what I mean? And we have a fucking blast in that thing. Like, I don't know if you've ever, like, if you walk by at night, like, just walk by, and if the door opens, like, you'll just hear us laughing our asses off in there. Like, I don't know what it is about just, like, living shit. It's communal shitty living. It's like the military all over again. Like, we live in a fucking RV. Like, the guy is sleeping on a couch. The guy's sleeping on a table. They're sleeping in this fucking upper thing. You know, I got a bed, but it's just shitty.
With a nice mattress topper on it.
With a nice mattress
Welcome
topper.
again.
Yeah.
Like, Matt got really spoiled. I upgraded everything in there. I made it all pretty and nice. Even reupholstered stuff. He's got a mattress topper in there. Like, he's living nice. But apparently the table's broken, so
yeah,
I'll fix that. Don't worry.
We broke the table.
Yeah, I do the repairs, so I'll be doing some fixing.
I'm segueing on a lot of that. Steve Fab Shop from Tennessee. Tennessee, what's up, Steve?
Hot Red Dude just made me giggle. I'm sorry. That's what I was laughing about. His comment's funny.
Oh, under the chat. Oh, yeah, because you got it sideways. I got mine stopping down. Why not move radiator to the rear and take steel from the bumper off to help with the weight transfer? So, fun fact, I did cut, if you look behind that front bumper, I cut a lot of shit out of there. And to try to lighten it up, like the actual bumper itself. And we could possibly move the radiator to the rear. I'm not sure where we would put it just yet because it does still have a factory fuel tank in it. So, I don't know. Who runs your company shitbox supply? Pretty much.
Yeah.
You guys can't see it, but behind the camera, there's shitbox supply. Like, there's a fucking million, like,
oh, I can't see. Oh, you're
totes
set up.
Yeah, totes
Dang.
with like all the fittings in them, and then like all these boxes have line in them. And, like, the boxes are deceiving because every box is at least 300 foot of line. So, what kind of wheels are those? Jegs wheels. We got the Jegs wheels special on them. Who loves orange soda? Matt loves orange soda. And it's all we had to drink. So.
Did you know? Wait, that's.
You should move to Wichita. I'm not big on Kansas.
Gets cold there.
Yeah.
Okay. I'm trying to go south more. Yeah.
Did you know a firefighter in the Air Force named David or Logan Fort? I did not. No. Send me those valve covers to Hydrojet. I can't because I can't take them off long enough. Show the inside one day. The inside of the RV? Yeah, we can do that. It was awesome seeing Miss Vicky go out and clean your RV before he came back. Yeah, like, fucking awesome woman. Like, Miss Vicky is
amazing.
a godsend. Like, that is the sweetest woman I've ever met in my life. The amount of shit, like, she puts up with, like, having race car children and everything else, like, and she's always, like, cooking everybody dinner. Like, there at any given moment, there's, 5-10 people at the house, working on cars or whatever, and always making sure everybody's fed and all that kind of stuff. Yeah. What's wrong with Kansas?
Love it.
Nothing's wrong with Kansas. Just
No.
it's not. I don't want to live that far out west.
Yeah.
Amp, I'm with you. No politics. Yeah, I don't. I take a pretty, like, I don't really just politics aren't my thing. I've got my own opinions. Everybody's got theirs. I respect everyone's opinion, but, yeah. When are you gonna get more of the black shitbox adjustable? I'm not sure. Maybe once we run out of the Fool's Gold special edition ones. Maybe.
I was gonna say, do we have any tucked away? But no, we don't.
No, we don't have any tucked
No.
away. The only ones we have are like ones that I've been using. Do a burnout in the Nova? No. I spent 2 years at Fort Riley in Kansas. Yeah. What's up with the El Camino? Any progress? Not yet. I picked up a motor. I got a 385 short block. So I have to build a motor. Like, we need cam, we need heads, we need timing cover, we need timing chain and gears and an oil pan, and we need everything. So just as, you know, I get some extra money and we can put some extra money into it, you know, we'll start making progress.
Ooh, there's a good one. Move to Arizona.
Ooh.
Ooh.
Are you
That's a
satisfied
sell.
with how the car steers and drives now? Richard, I am satisfied with it because it is steered so shittily for so long that now it's like amazing. Do I wish that I had, you know, like, would I consider in the future going to a rack and pinion? Absolutely, because I know that it can be better. But now, if you guys notice, I've been driving with one hand, and I've been seeing a lot of comments about that too, like, oh, put both hands on the wheel and blah blah blah. Number one, there's no need. Obviously, it's driving and working just fine with one hand on the wheel. The other thing is, if I slap the shifter and then try to grab the wheel, I may grab the wheel and jerk it, which is something that I don't want to do. So honestly, it's not out of shape. It's no problem. I might as well just go with one hand for now. And that's obviously, you know, a testament to how well it is steering and driving now. Did you see the mouse problem? I don't know what you're talking about. Is 700 horsepower enough to start street racing with? Abso-frickin-lutely. This Nova, when it was LS 5.3 on spray, if it made 500 to the tire, I probably would have had a heart attack. Probably made less. Probably made, you know, less than that. And I still had plenty of fun. Here's the thing, like, there are plenty of guys. It is much easier to build an 11 or 12 second car than it is to build a 9 or 10 second car, and it's even harder to build a 7 or 8 second car. So there is way more guys that can build an 11 or 12 second car, 13 second car, whatever, and you can have a lot of fun racing cars that run those kinds of times. You can have a lot of fun. So absolutely. What's better, LS or big block? I've never seen the full potential of an LS because I've never turboed one, but, you know, different categories, I guess. The sound, you cannot beat a big block for its sound. Like, my buddy Justin came overnight to help us, and I fired up for the first time, and he was like, holy shit, like, the videos do no justice. I was like, yeah, dude, it's fucking awesome. But as far as, like, if you want to get into racing and you need to get a budget motor that you can squeeze a bunch of power out of very cheaply, LS all day. You can buy a junkyard LS, you can start spraying that thing with a 200, 250, and depending on what kind of vehicle it's in, you can get it to move pretty damn well for not a lot of money. Kansas in the middle of the U.S., not the West. Well, but I live on the East Coast, so that's the West to me. What's your thoughts on building an 88 Thunderbird? Not something that I would personally do. I just don't really like those, you know what I mean? Are you ever going to get a legit bottle heater? Yeah, we're going to have to at some point. The fuck?
What?
Some weird ass comments.
About what? What are you missing?
use the heads, oil pan, etc. that's on the engine that you're taking out of the Elko. Hell no. I mean, we could probably use the oil pan. We planned on putting the accessories back on because if everything bolts back up, there is air conditioning there, so we could probably make it work. But the heads, like I want to put a decent set of heads on it. I want her to have a little bit of power. Have y'all been to Race Wars in Bristol, Tennessee? I have not. Lewis, yes. Well, yes. I can say that. How's the Nova handle compared to the Dodger? The Dodger is a longer wheelbase, so it's a little bit easier to drive. I can get a lot more sideways in that thing before I have to let out, just because of the long wheelbase. But it's nowhere near as fast either, so you know. My 73 steers just like yours did. I've talked to Luke as soon as I get the gearing box in, I'm taking it up there. Damn right, Charles. They will get you right. It's also easier to get back under control if something happens to one hand. Yeah. What year is the El Camino?
87. It's a good year.
It's a good year.
It's a good year.
Oh, the mouse. Oh, yeah. Now I know what you're talking about. Yeah. Plenty of pro stock and pro mod God drive one-handed. Yeah, because honestly, if you can't drive it one-handed, something's not right. You know what I mean? Like, you should be able to drive the car one-handed if it's doing everything it's supposed to do and it's working well. For when you have a shoot, true. You see many gasser style cars on the street, no prep back east? Absolutely not. I don't see any gasser style cars around, and there was some that came to my shitbox race. They're really fucking cool. Like, maybe another one of those cars in the future one day would maybe like to have. What's the jetting in the Nova? As far as nitrous, it is the Nitrous Express jetting for a 300. How big of a cam? No clue. The guy I got the motor from didn't know the cam specs. We didn't tear it apart. He said, put that thing in there and run it. That's what we did. Put the SS Money front clip on the Elko. They look amazing. I don't know. I think it looks nice the way it is now. I think maybe tuck that front bumper a little bit and then maybe put the lip on the bottom. But out of all the tire compound you used, what would you recommend? So, oh, you mean like puddle compound or so. Actual tire? Because I can tell you, actual tire, no prep and street, needs to be a Hoosier. First and foremost, has to be a Hoosier, and go back and forth between the CO7 and the DO6. They serve different purposes and work better, but best overall all around is going to be the CO7. I was 14 in 87. I wasn't even born yet. Carb jet and carb size, I meant. Okay, so good question. I think it's written on the carb. I don't know that I'm right, but I want to say an 86 and an 88. I think, if I'm remembering correctly. 1050 carb, and I want to say it's 86 in the front, 88 in the back. I've not touched them. I've not looked at them, whatever. I just remember seeing it written on the carb itself. I was 32 at 87. Damn, poker bike. Matt, I'm serious. If you want a cam for your wife's Elko, email me. Over 50 years in cam grinding, race cams only. Yeah, Rusty, we'll hit you up. Like I said, that's all a time and budget thing. You know, once we get the budget and have the time. But if you want to dnrauto@hotmail.com. Shoot me an email. Matt, what do you think about stick cars and no prep racing? I know everyone's power glides are 3-speeds anymore, but I would like to get into no prep with my stick 68 Nova. I think if you are around Ohio, they have the highest concentration of stick shift no prep racers. I think, if you want to race stick shift, absolutely go for it. I'm not saying that you shouldn't. Ultimately, an automatic is going to be faster. But it shouldn't deter you from wanting to race. If you want to race, and they have stick shift classes, like I said, Ohio probably has the largest concentration that I've seen of stick shift racers. But they had a stick shift class at Dig or Die too. So not old, seasoned perfectly.
Are we like watching a Chinese movie?
So sometimes.
What does that mean?
Sometimes the words and the audio don't match up.
Well, that's good because I don't get much room to talk. So it's Matt. I'm just nodding and smiling at the comments and nodding. Got it.
As soon as you lit that cigarette, fell from 540 to 484. Probably no coincidence. Well, unfortunately, I smoke cigarettes, so people have a choice of what they want to watch. The fact of the matter is, I'm not going to hide what I do or who I am, because then when you see me at the racetrack and I'm smoking a cigarette, you can be like, "Oh, I didn't know you smoke cigarettes." Well, now you know. It is what it is. Matt hit that one on the head. Yeah, I know, because I know what you're talking about. Because sometimes it happens with the GoPro where it delays like that.
Gotcha.
My buddy just won.
See you go. We're on the same page.
Stick shift, Dig or Die. Oh, all right. So, one thing that I do know is that you can only be live on the GoPro for 2 hours, and we are 1 hour and 15 minutes in. So, if you guys have any questions, now would be a great time for them, because we've only got so much time left that we can't even be live. Did you see the twins from New York car at Dig or Die? No, I'm not sure what you're talking about. Do you need any help with Holly products? Hell yeah, I need a Dominator on this car. No. Remind your girl to tell you what she was going to say to you. What were you going to say to me? Maybe something when I went in for the pretzels?
I don't know. That happens a lot. Yeah.
Too many. Yeah. What puddle prep would you say is the best? People are going to slay me for this, and it is what it is. I think that all of them have different good and bad qualities, and all of them have their place. But what I think is far more important is a proper chassis setup, power management setup, tire choice. I believe the car is going to work. It's either going to work or it's not. I don't think that the prep is going to be the determining factor of whether or not you get down the road. Like I said, I think there's advantages and disadvantages to everything and all that kind of stuff. But I think that people worry way too much about that. I think that people get so hyper focused on like, well, that's the best prep ever. Make your car work the best that it possibly can. And that's going to be way more advantageous than what you pour on the ground. And I know that, I've poured water on the street before and gone honest. What?
I hate that you get so disappointed because it's all progress and it's not going to happen immediately.
I know, but still.
And you are a lot faster than you have been, and you are going straighter than you ever have.
Yeah, but
so don't beat yourself up over it. Like it's going.
I'm a racer. I'm not racing. I mean, I have a crap ton of fun racing, but
right.
like I also won't have a drive to want to be the best too. Like,
I understand, but not even 2 years ago, this was quite literally pulled off of a trailer.
Yeah.
So that's progress. Got to stop and look at where you've been. Be grateful for that.
Karate chop.
No, I'm supposed to karate chop you.
No.
But I didn't. I was keeping it cool.
What MSD box are you running in the car? So I run the MSD Digital 7, and the one that I have is the 7530 or whatever T model, which has the ability to do traction control. It's not, none of that is set up. Actually, just, was it last night we filmed that? When I went over the tune and everything?
Yeah.
So I filmed like 20 to 30 minutes of explaining the ignition box, the nitrous controller, how it's set up, why it's set up, what I did specifically with timing, like actual numbers and all that. And honestly, I don't know that that's going to make for a very good video. But what I was thinking about doing is we have YouTube just opened up where we have, like, you can become a supporter of the channel. Like you know, like you click the thing and it's like a couple bucks a month, and there's all different levels, whatever. And what I was thinking about doing was putting that video out for the supporters. So that's something I was thinking about doing. And same thing on Facebook. We've got, you know, supporters on Facebook that it's like a, you know, it's a way that the YouTube and Facebook and everybody like allows you to help support your favorite content creators and stuff. You can, you know, like I think it's like $4.99 a month is the cheapest one. You can sign up for it, whatever. And you know, we can make special posts or whatever, but like that's kind of the thing. Like I feel like I haven't done a lot there yet, but we don't really have a lot of people in that program yet. So I was thinking maybe like that video I would just put up for that group, kind of a more inside look. How much more do you have to do to get Billy Kid's S10? Well, I need about 3/10 off the 60 foot, because the only way I can possibly beat him is to leave with him. Here's the thing, like when you're racing them turbo cars, you gotta get out in front of them and you gotta stay in front of them. There is no I'm behind Billy and then I come back around him. I have to be out in front of him from the start. So I need to spray everything this thing is capable of spraying, lose 500 pounds, knock 3/10 off the 60, get out in front of them. Man, it'd be a lot. Is the motor in the Nova set back as far as possible? Could we possibly set it back further? Possibly. Not with the current motor mount setup that I have. What wheels are on the Nova in size? They're Jegs wheels. Front and back. Front's 15 by 4, I guess, 4.5, whatever. The rear is a 15 by 8 with a 5 back spacing. So we can't do a full 15 by 10 in the rear. That also makes a difference in the tire and a lot of other things too. 238, 232, 238, 50, 625 lift, 106 lobe separation. Sounds good. Sounds good. Yeah, what I'm really concerned about for Mallory's car is I want to be able to daily drive it. Like, I want her to just be able to jump in that thing and take it to the store, do whatever she wants, but I want it to have some decent sound to it. You know, I want it to have a little bit of power. I want her to be able to stomp the gas and break the tires free and have some fun with it. How competitive is the stick shift class? It is. There are some guys that are really freaking fast. I feel like there's no middle ground in the stick shift. I feel like the cars are either a little bit slower, and then there's some guys that are really fast. I feel like there's not a whole lot of middle ground there. I could be wrong, but are you planning to do any more races this winter? Or are you done for the winter and building up for spring next season? I plan to street race. So I do not plan on stopping racing. I plan to continue racing, and if that means traveling far away to do it, then that's what I'm going to have to do. But I plan to continue to keep the content going. Was with Baby German by Tyler No Boost. No. $20 on mallet of scrap. No. Fun fact for the day, I was an amateur MMA fighter. I will fuck.
This is back to the what hasn't Matt done thing.
Yeah, what hasn't Matt done? What's the details of the internals and such on the big block? We have no clue. The guy I got the motor from doesn't know. We didn't open it up. He said, you know, here's the thing. The guy gave me the motor. So when I said, hey, what do you think we should do? And he said, put that damn thing in there and go race it. That's what I did.
Said, okay,
Yeah.
I'll do that.
Do you think that quality cage work can be hard to find? Absolutely. That is, here's the problem. If you can call somebody and they can say, come in tomorrow and I'll do your cage, it's probably not good quality. If you call them and they're like, we're 6 months out, it's great quality, but you'll probably never get it fucking done. So it's one of the hardest things. It is a very hard thing to find. I think there's a lot of people that do a lot of quality cage work. Mike Thomas Fab did mine. He's in Delaware. You can look him up. But I think he's another one of those guys. Like, if you called him, like, he ain't going to tell you, oh, yeah, drop it off tomorrow. Like, there's probably going to be a wait. What was the biggest upgrade to make Fool's Gold go straight? The rag joint. Out of all of the things that have been done, all of the parts that went at it and everything else, the rag joint. I wholeheartedly believe that was the single biggest thing that made the change. What steering ratios in the new box? I don't know. It's a factory one. Did not tighten it up, no. When's the first shipbox race of 2022? Good question. I want to do more. I know I can tell you that Knoxville, Tennessee, they are like completely open to back of the track race, which I want to do a shitbox back of the track race because I think that'll be a lot of fun. But they're completely open to it. I've got an open invitation anytime there. English Mountain in Tennessee, open invitation anytime. In Ohio, 10 gyms. If D-Team still operates it, open invitation anytime. Pacemakers, probably open invitation anytime. There's quite a few tracks that I have an open invitation anytime. Like, I don't even have to, like, the question isn't, can I throw a race? The question is, hey, is the track available this day? And they're like, yeah, do whatever you want. So I still got to do that. Are you planning on upgrading the suspension anymore? So we have Vikings in the front. I would love to do Vikings in the rear. I'd love to do a different control arm up front. I do plan on doing suspension stuff, yeah. Where did Big Rob come from? Just showed up and no one said anything like we should know. We've been talking about that. Fucking.
He kind of did. He didn't. He did, but he didn't.
So the problem is in videos, like, we couldn't possibly put everything that happens in the course of a day in a video. As much as we would love to, it's just unrealistic, and then it would probably make them boring and everything else. So Rob, Big Rob, and none of this actually got filmed, I guess. When we did the LS swap in the Nova, Big Rob brought me over some headers, right? And Big Rob used to crew for a guy in Ohio with a Chevy 2 Nova, big block nitrous car, awesome car. And I guess that guy hasn't done a whole lot of racing this year, and maybe he's been going through upgrades or whatever. And Rob is friends with Billy, and that's also just kind of the way that our life works, is people just show up one day and never leave. Like, the Fast and Furious shit is true. Like, fucking Brendan just started hanging out at the track. Like, I first saw Brendan in a shitbox race, and then I saw him again somewhere else and saw him again, and then he was at Billy's house, and then I was like, hey, do you want to go on the road and fucking sell my merch? And he's like, yeah. And now Brendan's there. Like, so that's just the way things work. But Rob is a good dude. Rob's a great dude. Rob is fucking the man. He has a wealth of race car knowledge. Like, I would say he's more knowledgeable than me. And that's, like, I'm a huge fan of that. A lot of people can be, like, off-put by that and shit. Like, I love surrounding myself with people that I think are smarter than I am, because I think it makes me better.
They must use salsa dance. I got to see that. That's in the comments somewhere. You're not down far enough yet, but I've been talking in there. They want to know how we met and like our backstory.
What's the deal with tubular front end? Ever gonna go through with it? It's a lot of money. Like those things are expensive as hell, and on top of that, everything has to come off the front end of the car. The motor and trans got like we got to take that thing completely apart and put it back together again. I would love to. I plan to maybe one day in the future. I do not have the money, and I do not want to have the car down that long right now. Do you guys have shirts, hats, jackets for sale? Yeah, we've got, if you go to shipboxsupply.com, that's where all the merch is. I'm going to warn you now, we are fucking way behind on orders. Like, we've gotten more orders than we've ever gotten, so that's an awesome thing. But in the middle of that, we tried to move the merch to Ohio. We've now moved the merch again. The merch is now set up in mine and Billy's shop, and it's not even fully set up yet, and like it's just been a nightmare. But we plan like that's in Ohio. We're here in Delaware, so that Allison is supposed to catch us up hopefully this week. She said she would help me out and catch up all the orders and stuff. US 60, Windy Hollow, or Beach Bend? No, I haven't raced there, but I've been to Windy Hollow. How far are you from being able to finals in Dig or Die? It's hard. It's hard, especially in a place like Dig or Die, where the 60 foot can only ever be so good. Like, I'm never going to 140 60 foot at Dig or Die. It's just, I don't think the surface is good. I'm not going to say that. Maybe years from now or whatever, so many more events from now, it fills in so much. But the problem is with the Nitrous car, in order to win that kind of stuff, you have to be out in front, you have to be out first, and it's very hard to do because you can only do so much in the 60 foot, whereas the turbo cars can lazy in the 60 foot and just roll in all this turbo power, and Nitrous doesn't work the same way. Like, you hit it with a 300 shot, it's only going to have 300. Turbo is just going to keep producing power the more air pressure it builds. How did you meet Mallory? Where were you? What happened? We were both working at the same air base 8 years ago.
9.
Nine?
9. A while ago.
9 years ago.
We're not really good at the numbers.
Yeah.
So somewhere in there.
And we had a mutual friend, and then we started dating, and then we dated some more.
You just really generalized that whole thing. He stalked me for a while and liked every single picture that I had ever posted on anything. And then I realized, I'm like, oh, we work at the same place. So I sent him a message, and I'm like, I'm sorry, did I meet you and forget who you were? And he's like, no, like I hadn't met him. So then he came over and salsa danced on the parachute packing floor, and then we went and got coffee. I think you were in sweatpants because you just got off shift.
Yeah, that's why I used to be a firefighter. I'd work 24-hour shifts.
Yeah.
Pro Charger and Zoomies would be sick.
What?
But, so, I don't know, we dated, and then I went to Kuwait for like 6 months.
Pretty much right after we started dating.
Yeah.
Yeah, you deployed.
And we dated more, and then we've just been together ever since.
That's so blah. That's not blah.
There's not like some crazy exciting story or anything.
I mean, it kind of is, because that's how you got here. That's how we got here.
I mean, that's how we got here. But
that's how we got
there
here.
was not like, I don't know. I'm like saying like there was no crazy story of how we met. Like,
no,
we just met like normal people, and yeah.
I guess so.
You should start trying to build your next engine. I'd like to start trying to build my next car.
No, you work on this one. One at a time.
how far are you from where Billy is, and will you move there in the future? I'm about a 7 to 8 to 9 hour drive, depending on traffic and when I'm driving and all that kind of stuff. I don't know. From Motorhome Duct Tape, thank you, Mark and Misty. Thank you. The rag joint. You should have Nick Pludiak build you a cage. He's good at them and needs the money. I have a cage. I have an 850 cage in here. It is very tight, so you can't really see it all the time, but it is in there. It's chromoly and whatnot. And as much as I hate to say it, Nick is my boy, but that guy builds a safe race car. Like, he's it sucks to say he's wrecked 2 of them, but he's walked out of each one. So I got to give it to him. The diesel place Papa Billy took the Dodge to look like he could do a good cage. Absolutely. That's Fire Punk Diesel. Now, a lot of you guys don't know this, but part of what I do for a living is contract work. I do film and photography and videography, and I make videos. I work for Hot Shot Secret, and part of my work was covering, there's a diesel series, the Outlaw Diesel Super Series, where Fire Punk races their S10. I was there at Lights Out for when they ran the 399 and all that. I do that video and photography work, so I know them guys actually really pretty well, and they are some super talented people. And the dude Cody over there, I say he's a kid. I think he's younger than me, but the kid Cody over there is super talented fabricator. Doing any shitbox races in PA? I don't. So if you heard earlier me talking about the tracks, there's a lot of places I have open invitations to, and I don't have any of those locally. So no.
No, what?
The salsa dance.
I'm trying so hard. I can't not to laugh at all these comments because it's rude. You're trying to answer other stuff and you're being serious, but
I enjoy eating things, Jeff. Rob seems smart. He is. He's very smart.
I'm done.
Jesus.
I can't. Maybe I need sleep. It's
A shitbox salsa. What is your problem?
I can't read it anymore.
What is your... I don't even... None of it... I mean, it's not even that funny.
It is because I've been trying to hold it in for so long. I just can't take it anymore.
Matt, are you concerned on being that behind on orders that will negatively affect your business? Yes. Part of it is stuff we can't control. Part of it is there's issues. There's stuff we're figuring out that it just is what it is. We weren't going to figure it out unless we did it. Part of what happened is we ended up having an inventory issue when we moved stuff to Ohio, because we were trying to change this sounds stupid, but trying to change the shipping address to ship from Ohio instead of Delaware created a separate inventory. So when we updated the inventory, it only updated the Ohio inventory, not the Delaware inventory, which allowed people to order shirts that we didn't have in stock. So then we had to reorder all of the shirts, hoodies, all of that stuff to get it back into stock. So then there was a wait. We didn't get that stuff until literally the day we left for Dig or Die. So we did that. We come back, then had to go through it all again, inventory it all again, set it all up in the shop. And just now it's finally at the point where we're ready to start getting those orders out the door. So
line and fitting's still good though.
Yeah, line and fitting's still good because that gets done here in Delaware. Y'all sharing a shop? Or are you taking over? No, we've got the storage shop over there, which is what was called the storage shop, and the shitbox merch is there. Mallory's El Camino is over there. We're gonna be doing some work out of there. It was part of my first steps to being a little bit more dedicated to being involved in that team out there. I guess the way to do it. So the question shop, Billy. Now, yes, so we have a shop that we share out in Ohio. Mally, what do you do for work? Shitbox. What's the most sketchiest track you've ever been to? Track-wise, not ghetto-wise. Sketchy? Darlington is a really terrible surface. You know, English Mountain's pretty sketchy. I like that place. Windy Hollow, when I was there, was pretty sketchy. I love sketchy tracks. Would you consider a 4-cylinder shitbox class? We did do one. We did a missing cylinders class, which is everything less than eight cylinders. I used Holly EFI with their dry progressive nitrous deal. You can pull it up and ramp it in like a turbo car. That would be something cool to do. Damn, we had a lot of veterans in here. 6 months deployments. Yeah, well, so Air Force is gay as fuck. But I was with the Army previously. I did a year in Iraq.
Tell them up to my toes. I can't feel through the toes. That's, you know. Where are you at?
Matt, get up and dance.
They still want to see
Finland.
me.
Everybody wants to see me, but Finland. I'm not doing salsa. Is there anything you would change about Fool's Gold? I mean, there's upgrades I want to do. At some point, you put Fool's Gold on a diet. What would target ultimate weight be? I would love to be down to like 3,300 pounds with me in it. I don't know that that's going to happen, but it is what it is. Matt, do you have a P.O. box by chance? There is a P.O. box at the shop here in Delaware. How tall are you? I am 5'9", which is 69 inches. Shitbox RV class. These two just need to do a regular podcast. Is Mallory the backup driver of Fool's Gold?
Yes. No hesitation. None. Yes.
She hasn't driven it yet.
But I will.
Yeah, but now that it is going straight and working like it's supposed to, like I would feel comfortable putting her in the car.
And I do trust Matt, so if he thinks something's not right yet, like even if I want to, and he's like, not yet, I trust that.
Fort Leonard Wood and Fort Drum. That's where I went to AIT. Fort Lost in the Woods. What year were you over in Iraq? I was 05. I was 09-10. I did convoy security in 09-10. Yeah, that was May to May, I think. Mike Gwynn, the fastest small tire, 100%. I mean, if he was, then why didn't he win Dig or Die? Like, I'm not trying to be a dick, but you can't say somebody's the fastest and they're not winning the event. It's the same way I'm not the fastest. Shout out for putting some respect on Big Bumper Novas. Damn right. I think it's cool because I think if I could somehow, in my little bit of influence in the world, encourage somebody who's sitting at home that has a 74 Nova that wishes they had a 68 to 72 because those are the cool Novas, but they've got a 74 and it's big bumper and ugly and the grill's ugly and all that, and if I could encourage them to race that car and have or restore it or do whatever they want because it's no longer the ugly Nova, you know, there is coolness to it, that would make me happy. What's your best 8th mile time so far? Well, I'm not going to talk about that, but I will say, because I said it in the video, I went 670 at Dig or Die, which is not the greatest surface. Have you had contact with Myrna Nova as he started where you did with his? No, I haven't talked to him. I hope Bob is going to be a part of the team. He is really smart. Absolutely. I will tell you that I 110% plan on having Rob be my crew chief or whatever you want to call it for as long as humanly possible, and we'll do whatever it takes to make that happen. And I've talked to Billy, and he is 110% on the same page that Rob makes a great addition to the team, and he needs to be around. You know, I don't know if you guys have noticed, but we've started like taking people in, like we're starting to put together a team, and that's really what it's going to take to do what we want to do as far as, you know, we want to race every weekend. Like that you cannot do by yourself. Like the more hands on deck, the better. We need a showdown. Falcon S10 Nova. Like, I don't know why we need the showdown. I will run either one of them. I mean, but we know what's going to happen. Also for the end. Well, I can tell you, GoPro will only allow me to go live for 2 hours, and we are an hour and 45 minutes. So we've got 15 minutes left before the GoPro is going to cut us off and cut the live stream off. Your next race car needs to be a Fox body. You can unsubscribe. That should be the next video. Mallory driving Fool's Gold. We can actually, that probably would make for a good video. I wonder if we can get that airport again. If we can get, so here's the thing. What I will not do is I will not put her on an illegal street for her first time in the Nova, because when we are on an illegal street, you need to get what you need to get done and get the hell out. And it's already going to be enough. You know, you can't hear in that thing. Like, that big block is loud. You cannot hear in it. So I would want it to be in a place where we could be comfortable, where she could be comfortable.
No, I want you to be comfortable too.
Yeah, but yeah, so I will not, you know, I will not make her first passes on the street.
Oh, you're a good guy. You're sweet.
Yeah. Is there any way that you can get seat time where you live? Doing hood rat shit, which is why we're doing this live stream, because we tried to do hood rat shit and it rained everywhere, and it didn't even rain hard. It just rained enough to get the roads wet, and then it's cold and there's no drying them out. There's no sun. We put the car on the trailer and drove around and tried to find new spots. Like all of our usual spots.
Got out, felt the road, like touched it.
Yeah. Like there was a cop at one of our spots. The other spots were wet. We tried other spots. Like, we've done everything. Like, I'm trying. Believe me, I'm trying. What rear end is in the Nova? 8.5 10 bolt. Being a semi-new YouTuber, what are the things you recommend to get some subscribers? You're not going to want to hear this answer. Put out a video a week for 3 years straight.
What? Why is that the algorithm? Why is that what you chose?
It's not the algorithm, it's nothing. It's consistency will beat everything. If you put out a video a year for 3 years straight, you will see growth in year 1, you will see growth in year 2, you will see growth in year 3. Sometimes you will get lucky. Part of it is luck. You know what I mean? Some shit just goes viral for no reason. Sometimes you get lucky. Sometimes you won't. If you consistently put out a video a week for a year or more, 2 videos a week, 4 more or more for a year, and you keep the content consistent in your line of what it is you're doing, or whatever your niche area is, and you're not seeing growth, then maybe after a year I'd be like, all right, maybe it's time to do something different, switch it up a little bit, whatever. But the answer is just start working on it and never stop working on it, and maybe one day it'll work out. It's a really terrible answer, but that's the honest truth. About how much horsepower is a Nova? I would say on motor, full tilt, that thing probably makes like 700 at the motor.
Would you ever move to North Carolina?
Yeah.
Okay.
What are the next steps to make the car leaf harder and pick up on the big end? Leaf harder, which is something we were working on. Less launch retard, more timing, hitting the nitrous sooner, less ramp in the nitrous system, turning it on to full power sooner. All of those things. It's all stuff I'm planning on doing. And the tune-up is already in the car. I just need to find a good dry road to go figure it out. Well, there's no passenger seat in the Nova, so if she drives it, it's just going to be her. There's not going to be any me in it, and it's probably going to be even worse because then I'll be outside the car just watching it go, be like, got some mufflers that
no passenger seat didn't stop you before.
This is a way faster car. Get some mufflers, yeah, maybe. Is that rear end built? At least C-clip eliminators, yeah, C-clip eliminators. It's got a spool in it, What editing software you use to do decent content? Still use it to this day. 110% iMovie. Get you a MacBook, get iMovie. Even for work, like I said, I did the contract work, video and stuff. Still use iMovie. If you want to, advance, go ahead and get Adobe Premiere Pro. I have that too, but yeah, iMovie will work just fine. I am years into making YouTube videos, and I still make videos on iMovie. Please do bullhorn or forward-facing headers. I do want to do that. Actually, talking about the guys from Firepunk, where Bill took the truck, I've talked to Cody, their fabricator, about building me a set of fender exit headers for the car. Email is dnrauto, just like the YouTube channel, at hotmail.com. 10 minutes left, no salsa.
Did you just throw the no salsa in there? Yeah. Just a reminder, no, it's not happening.
No, because somebody said salsa.
No, they're hashtagging it.
If you don't think the Fox Body is the fastest platform for no prep, you're a dumbass. It could be the fastest platform. I don't give a shit. What I care about is not having the same car that everybody else out there does. I like my cars. And not that I don't like Fox Bodies. Like, for the longest time, a coupe Fox Body I think is a beautiful car. Just not what I want to build right now. Did you finally give up on LS engines? No, I just they have a place, and that place without turbos, like a Nitrous LS, small cubic inch Nitrous LS, probably isn't going to cut it on no prep. Straddling the last one. No, I won't. All right, so we've got just a few minutes left before this camera kicks out. So,
oh no.
What GoPro is best for drag racing? I want to get a new one. We're currently live streaming off of a GoPro Hero 8, and I have a Hero 5, which works well. Pretty much, I think like 5 or newer will film 1080. So 5 or newer is best. If you can get an 8, or a 9 or 10, obviously they get better through the years. They've got better features. So what about filming with an Android? If you still have an Android, just throw it away. No, I'm kidding. You can do it. They still have good film quality. And I've told a lot of people that. Everybody's like, what camera do I need to get started filming? This right here. iPhones will film in 4K, and I'm sure Androids probably do the same thing. You do not need a fancy camera. Content over everything. It could be filmed on a potato, but if it's good content, people will watch it. How much does Nova weigh? 3740 with me in it. Do you plan on going a wider tire in the rear? Nope, because all small tire classes are 28 10.5 or 29.5 10.5, so... Dance, are we all unsubscribe? Jesus.
I think they're just trying to make me laugh again. They're going to win, but that's alright.
GoPro Max for that 360 view. Billy just got a GoPro Max. We want to do some cool stuff with it, but no. I didn't know that. Jackie's from Joliet.
Yeah. But I don't know her, and that's really weird, because that's
You
like...
guys should be about the same age.
Right, and that, I mean, I was born at Silver Cross.
I don't know how old she is, but I
don't know.
I don't think
But the world's
she's
so
like
small.
way younger than us or anything.
No. But I don't know her. I don't.